Joining me now, one of the 14 attorneys general, Todd Rokita of Indiana. Todd, thanks for being with us. You know, all the attention right now is on the Ukrainian border. This border mess in the U.S. is not getting better, and the human smuggling data that we're seeing, the stories we're seeing, are absolutely shocking here.
$400. That's what it costs an illegal immigrant trying to evade U.S. authorities to rent a child to be used as a human shield to get past the border. Then the child is returned, usually in the trunk of a car, back across the border to be re-rented. That's how sick this has become, and I've been on the border twice now. I've been to the RGV, the Rio Grande Valley, and I've been to the Tucson sector. And you see these things. You're certainly told about them. Look, I'm from Indiana. You don't have to be a border state to be affected by this. In 48 hours of a single male trying to evade Border Patrol, they'll be in Indiana. Higher crime, prostitution, fentanyl in their bags. It's a national crisis, and yes, the Ukrainian border, as you say, is important. This border is more important, and Mayorkas and Biden are lawbreakers who are helping the lawbreakers.
Todd, it feels like the administration looks for every excuse to run away from this problem, and they've got one obviously now because we got another big urgent crisis. But if this continues to go on, what happens to those communities? I mean, we just saw the video of Mission, Texas there. What happens to those communities? But beyond that, Todd, you're in Indiana. What happens to communities around the country, whether it's folks getting there, whether it's the drugs? What are the long-term consequences here?
So I've talked to my chiefs of police. I went to the association meeting a couple weeks ago before I went to the border the last time. And tomorrow I'm talking with our sheriff's association. And I think I asked them all the same question. I think I know the answer I'm going to get tomorrow. It's going to be the same as the answer I got a few weeks ago. Who here is not immune? Who in your local communities is not immune from what's happening at the border? Of my law enforcement officers, who doesn't believe or doesn't see every night on the beat the increased crime, the increased human trafficking, the increased drug abuse that's occurring because Mayorkas and Biden have not enforced the border since January of 21, and everyone raises their hand that they've been affected.
You're calling for Secretary Mayorkas to resign. Do you see support growing for that to happen? Do you think possibly it is in the offing?
You know, with the State of the Union coming up, I mean, there's a possibility, but it's really your attorneys general. I'm so thankful for the other 13 states attorneys general who joined in this effort. You know, these are kind of David and Goliath type efforts, but it's nice to have a bunch of Davids. And when you're doing these things, so I think with us bringing attention to this and the fact that as Americans, you know, it's easy here in Indianapolis or Indiana or other places to say, you know what, border, that's not my problem. Well, yes, it is. When your car's getting carjacked, when your children are unsafe, when you go into a store to shop only for it to be ransacked itself because of illegal immigrants who flaunt the law. These are not people who want to come and assimilate to the American way of life. These are people who are coming to take from us.
Todd,
and we got to wake up to it.
Todd, I want to go to the drug issue really quickly because I think this one gets undercovered. January of this year saw record fentanyl seized at the border. The deleterious effect, the systematic effect of that. Is there anything you can do in your position and with the cooperation of other states' attorney general to try to deal with that issue if the Biden administration refuses to?
Well, all this falls to the states, and we all have different sorts of duties as attorneys general, but it's basically law enforcement. This falls to an already overburdened law enforcement. Look, you could put on your pinky enough fentanyl to kill you. And so the fact that they bring pounds and thousands of pounds across the border, it could kill everyone in this country several times over. And so I honestly don't know what they're using it for, where this is all going, but it is absolutely terrible, and it is going to cost us. It's going to cost us in lives. It's going to cost us in the rule of law. It's going to cost us in higher taxes. And it's not a partisan issue. If you're here and you're a known criminal, which a lot of these people are known criminals in their home countries, and you don't want to deport them, and you let them go, what kind of leader are you? Who are you really for? It used to be a bipartisan issue to deport illegal criminals, and now it's not.
If something you can put on your pinky like that is killing tens of thousands of Americans every year, not partisan. I'm so glad you're shining a spotlight on that, Todd Rokita. We got to leave it there. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
A new